Namaste, I am Dr. Sushant Joshi. I am Associate Professor in the School of Commerce and Management and also discharging my duties as a Registrar of the Chanakya University. It's a pleasure talking to you. I come from a very small place in North Karnataka. I did my schooling in a place called Sankeshwar and then went on to pursue engineering in the field of electronics. After that, I worked for about 5 years in the core engineering sector in two companies which are in the field of instrumentation. After working for 5 years, I realized that there is a need to upgrade myself, upskill myself, and it's better to go in for the management studies to do better in my career. So I went on to pursue my management studies. I did my MBA from IMED Pune, one of the premier institutes in India, and then again joined the industry in the capacity of project manager. Worked there for about 3 years and then got into the field of academics. It was initially not a informed decision, I would say. I got a chance to get into academics and I thought that with my experience in the industry, I would be able to contribute something in the field of academics. I wanted to test myself whether I can pursue a career in the academics and can contribute in the field of education. I'm always inspired by my role model, Swami Vivekananda, who said that education is the manifestation of perfection within us. So it's all about knowing self and achieving excellence in whatever we do. So I thought if I could contribute with my experience in industry to the students to achieve that sort of excellence in whatever field that they choose, that is the reason why I got into academics. But I was not very sure whether how am I going to contribute in that field. So I gave myself 6 months thinking that whether I can do something and which will be beneficial for the students. But after 6 months, I spoke to my mentors in the field of academia and then chose to remain in the field of academics. That is how my journey started in the field of academics. Though not a natural teacher, I learnt a lot from great scholars, experts who were part of my academic journey. In fact, I used to sit in their classes to understand how to deliver a lecture, how to connect to the students, and what are the dimensions that I should be bringing in the classrooms, and how do I take this classroom learning beyond the classrooms and make it a more practical oriented, because that is what my experience said in the field of industry. Then I went on to pursue my research goal. As you are in academics, it's better to couple your research with your academia so that you can deliver the classes, you can speak to the students, you can work on the content which is purely based on the research and experience. So I chose a field of employability skills as my area of research for my PhD. There is a specific reason for that. Again, it goes back to the same thing that a lot of people say that people have the education, people have the degrees, but they are not capable enough to take a job. And some statistics were there around which people like great industrialists also said that not even 25% of the management students are employable, and that is something that stuck to me, and I thought I should pursue my research in that particular area. So I did my research in developing an employability quotient. Like you have IQ, EQ, SQ. Similarly, I have developed, as a part of my research, I have developed employability quotient, which will test and also give you the number of what is the level of employability of the student from its journey, throughout the journey in academia, and at the end, what is the level of competency that the person has. So I called that particular instrument as Vivekam, again, inspired by the great Swami Vivekananda. As a part of my learning, I would not say a teaching but a learning, because every class, every interaction with the student is a learning experience for me, and even today that holds the same. During this learning journey of mine, the areas that I am interested in, apart from employability skills, that is my area of research, and also strategic management and marketing management. I strongly believe that these are the two subjects which are extremely important, because today if you see, there is nothing called as a marketing division in the organizations. The entire organization is first a marketing organization and then everything else. The most important thing that companies have to look for today is creating their new customer and retaining their existing one. And I pursue my research also now in that particular field of strategic management and marketing, and I would like to bring in my practical experience, my consultancy experience, and my qualification in the field of management to make students understand this reality and then develop their skills into that particular field. One more thing that fascinates me is the way these youngsters understand things today is much better than what it used to be maybe 25 years before when I studied. They are better prepared, they are better equipped, they're definitely better individuals when it comes to their learning experience. So it's a great joy in being connected with them, talking to them and learning from them, at the same time sharing whatever little experience that I have, whatever competency that I have gained in the industry and academia for last 22 years. That is a great joy, talking to them. How I look at education, as I mentioned earlier, that as Swami Vivekananda said, that education is a manifestation of perfection within you. I am looking at students who will develop the ability to gain excellence in the field that they choose. But most important for that is, or I can say the foundation for that particular excellence is knowing self. Now it's very easy to say that know yourself, but what does it really mean? It means that trying to find out your passion, trying to find out where your interest is, and also try to align your aptitude with that particular interest and knowledge that you are going to gain. Now these three things are extremely important to get aligned, because you are looking at your interest, that may be influence of others around you, the influence of external world. So interest only is not enough. You need to have a knowledge also in that relevant domain and field. It's not only about general awareness, but also the core concepts. Like in marketing, we say that a definition of marketing has changed over a period of last 40 years from 1980s when Philip Kotler wrote a book, Marketing Management. From that time to today, there are about 18 editions of that same book that have come up, and every time there is a new edition, there is a new dimension to the marketing that is getting evolved. So your core concepts have to be good. At the same time, you should be able to connect yourself with the practical world, and that is how knowledge should get developed. And the third dimension is extremely important. You may have an interest, you may have a knowledge, but you may not have a right aptitude for a particular job or particular area that you have chosen. Now what do I mean by that? I'll give you a small example from my life itself. I did well in 10th standard. Coming from a small village, that was the only thing that you could do to do well in your life, that excel in academics. So I did well in 10th standard thanks to my teachers. There is nothing that I can take a credit about. It's all about my teachers and mentors who helped me to get that kind of a good score. Same thing happened in 12th standard. But after 10th standard, I wanted to pursue my education in the field of medicine, because some influence, as I mentioned, that interest can be due to influence. There are people who were around me and who went on to take up a seat in medical college, and that fascinated me. So I wanted to do a medicine. But 11th standard, I remember my mentor in my junior college, he asked me a question, what do you want to be? And I proudly said that, sir, I want to become doctor. We used to have a dissection in our days, there was a frog dissection. And that was the first practical that, I had seen any animal that way on my tray. Dr. Savekar was the name of the mentor. He showed us how to do a dissection. He told us how to take the belly, how to take a cut, and then he also told us that you have to be extremely careful. Otherwise, you will cut a vein and the blood will splash all over the place. So you got to be careful. I took it very casually, but and then ended up messing up the blood all over my tray and also on my body. I fainted for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, when I saw Dr. Savekar next to me, he said, Sushant, if you cannot see a blood of a frog, imagine you are seeing a blood of a human being when you become a medical officer. Think about it, whether you have a right aptitude to do that. Now, that's a very important advice by my mentor, and I thank him for that. Then I changed, I thought over it, I took a guidance from him, and then I thought that I should be getting into engineering, and that's how I chose electronics engineering as my field of study. The point that I'm trying to make it is, you got to have a good mentors around you. You need to know what is your aptitude. You need to have a relevant knowledge. For that, you need to work hard, and you need to have a interest which should become passion, and then only you will be able to achieve the excellence. And I am here at Chanakya to help you, to guide you with whatever experience that I have to get that level of excellence by knowing self. It's all about facilitation job that we take up at Chanakya as a teachers, and we also want our teachers to know that self-learning is also extremely important, and that will come only if you have passion for it. So I look forward to meet youngsters at Chanakya so that I can gain more knowledge, I can learn a lot from them, and then I am still trying to explore the best in me, and I will help you to explore best in you.